I am so excited that you have chosen to be a part of our Enemies of the Heart campaign. We've had our sermon time, and you've had some time to read in the book, and now you've chosen to be a part of this small group session that's a part of our Enemies of the Heart. This part is designed for you to be able to make friends. It's designed for you to be able to have some conversations with some other people about the things that we're learning, and hopefully be able to put into practice the things that we're learning by having some accountability and being able to talk through some of the issues that we're going to be dealing with over the next few weeks. Our heart is so important. In fact, it's one of the most important things that we have, and it's real easy to neglect our heart, because if we're not careful, we can really focus on our behavior. And behavior is important, and we want to behave. We want our children to behave. We want our grandchildren to behave. And our behavior is important, but you can behave and have a bad heart. You can do all the right things and not have the right attitude, not have the right heart about what it is that you're supposed to be doing. So to be able to take this time and to take a breath and pull back and ask, how is my heart? And what is attacking my heart is an incredibly important thing. Our heart, so it's where our emotions come from, and we know that we're emotional people. We know some of us are more emotional than others. We all deal with emotions, and there's all kinds of emotions that are out there. And as we go through this series, what we're going to be doing is we're going to look at 4 emotions, and those 4 emotions are anger, guilt, greed, and jealousy. And we're going to be looking at those 4 things and looking at how they attack our hearts and what it does to us. And more importantly, look at some ways that we can fix that and we can protect our heart from those things. Like I was saying, emotions are such a part of our life. Even on our cell phones now and on our smartphones, we're always constantly sending emojis to each other. And sometimes I'm surprised at myself at being a 50-year-old guy sending, a smiley face to another 50-year-old guy. But the reason I do that is because it communicates. We understand emotion. Now, here's some things that we need to make sure that we know about emotions. One, emotions are real. Emotions are not something that are fake. They're not phony. They are real. The things that we feel, the things that they're real. So the emotions are real. So we just can't turn them off. But there's something else that we really need to understand about our emotions. We cannot trust our emotions. And if you're going through life trying to make really important decisions in life based on how you feel, you're going to be in trouble, because your emotions simply cannot be trusted. I can't necessarily control my emotions, but I can be aware of my emotions, and I can know where they can come from, and I can look for triggers, and I can have an understanding of some things that I can put in place that will help me control my emotions in a much better way. And so those are the kinds of things that we're going to be talking about in the Enemies of the Heart. It's called Enemies of the Heart because these emotions, like anger and jealousy and greed and guilt, they are enemies of our heart. They attack our heart. They do not want us to succeed. Our heart's really important. Tim Keller is a pastor in New York that I really like. I read a lot of his books. He has some really interesting things to say about emotions and our heart. I want you to listen to what he says. In general, Satan doesn't control us with fang marks on the flesh, but with lies in the heart. According to the Bible, the heart is not just the seat of the emotions, but also the source of our fundamental commitments, hopes, and trust. And from the heart flow our thinking, feelings, and actions. What the heart trusts, the mind justifies, the emotions desire, and the will carries out. If Satan can get you to consent with your mind to a God of loving grace, but get your heart to believe that you must do X, Y, and Z in order to be a worthy, lovable, and valuable person, he will be most satisfied. Now, that's some pretty powerful stuff, to be thinking about all of the things that come out of our heart. Because our heart is so important, that's why we have in the book of Proverbs, we have this verse, Proverbs chapter 4, verse 23, which is going to be our foundational verse for this entire series. And this is what it says. It says, guard your heart above all else, for it determines the course of your life. We're supposed to guard our heart. Well, why do we need to guard our heart? Well, the first reason that we need to guard our heart is because our heart is valuable. You don't guard anything that's not valuable. If something is valuable, you have to guard it. And the more valuable it is, the more you have to guard it. So our heart is valuable. That's why we have to guard it. The second reason we have to guard it is that it has enemies. There are things that are trying to attack our heart. And Satan knows that. Evil knows that. He knows that if he can get our heart, he has us. And God also knows that. He also knows that if he has our heart, he has us. So these are the kinds of things that we're going to be talking about in the coming weeks. So you've got some questions here to talk about tonight, and I really hope that you'll spend some time diving into the scripture and diving into the questions and sharing your heart, because until we learn how to do that, we're really not going to be better, and we certainly aren't going to know how to make friends and have the kind of relationships in our life that's going to make a difference. Again, I'm so excited that you've chosen to be a part of this part of Enemies of the Heart, and so I hope that you have some fantastic conversations, and we'll see you again next week.